He might have some size.
He does have some size. Bring him in, bring him in. That was only, what, your second cast with the Wacky rig?
I can't drink it.
Bring him up here a little more. He's under the boat. God darn it. Look at that fish. You have got to be kidding me. No, that's over 5.
I think so.
My God. Look at that freaking fish.
Hold it. Wait a minute now.
On the Wacky rig. Okay, he's a hair under 5.
Yeah.
He's 4. He goes a little bit. 4. God, he's so big though. Look at this. Here. Excellent. Let me check these. Let me check these.
Pick one more like this.
Okay. Hang on, let me get 2 like that. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Wow. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little intro clip there with my dad catching that bass on the Wacky rig. And I'm just going to touch on a few just little things I do with the Wacky rig and show it to you here. So he was fishing a Jackall flick shake, and this was in the Junebug color, so kind of a purplish color with some kind of little greenish kind of flakes in there. And it's rigged on one of these little VMC Wacky jigs, and I believe this is an 1/8 ounce Wacky jig. So you can kind of see the idea there. You're really just kind of hooking the worm kind of in the middle, and it has this nice kind of action when you kind of twitch it in the water. This is a technique that's been around for a while, but it's a good thing to use to give the fish something different to look at. So that particular lake we were at, it was different than the normal lake we go to, and there was a lot of people out there, and I'm sure that's probably normal there. So these fish, they get a look at Texas rigs and other stuff quite a bit, and this particular day, the fish were a little finicky, and sometimes that can be a great time to break out a Wacky rig and give those fish a little something else to look at. So you're usually fishing this on light spinning gear. So the rod that this is on, it's a 6 foot, I believe it's a 6'8", medium light action rod, and we've got real light line on here. This is 10-pound braid, and a lot of guys will tie fluorocarbon leader when they do this rig. Our water here is not that clear. That lake we were at probably has the clearest water around, and you could probably tell in the video, still not that clear. So tying directly to the little Wacky jig with braid is not a problem there. So this was the little setup that we used, and you can fish this thing. You can kind of work it along the bottom if you want, or you can cast it and really twitch it in the suspended areas, where there might be a fish suspended. That spot that he caught that fish on was kind of a ledge. So what happened was he casted this out there, was kind of twitching it as this thing was going down to the bottom, and that fish saw it. So as soon as that thing was twitching, and about the second it touched the bottom, that fish ate it. So he was probably sitting off that ledge, just kind of watching stuff come down it and ambushing it. So that's kind of what happened there in that little clip. But here's another look at the flick shake. These are specifically designed for Wacky rigs, and there's a couple other good Wacky worms out there, but really what you're looking at is just kind of a thinner worm that's got a good spot in the center there to kind of hook it up and give you that little action. But this is basically the little go-to Wacky rig that we use. As you can tell in the video, it does work. It's not something I break out all the time, but when you really need to pick up a bite, this is something that you can throw, and even though you're on light line and spinning gear, you can still catch big fish on it. You can definitely see that in the little clip there. Big fish will bite this thing. So give it a try. As you saw, that fish was hooked really good right in the side of the mouth, and it held very good. So these little jigs, even with the little weed guard there, they hook up just fine. So anyway, give this little Wacky rig a shot, and go land you a lunker.